Therapy Masters is a professional massage therapy practice. We're located in the King O'Malley's building in Canberra City. We've been in the building for almost 11 and a half years. I've been in the industry for over 18 years, and originally the practice started in the spare room of my house, and then we moved into the city. Over the years I've built up a team of practitioners who are very dedicated massage therapists and are very knowledgeable, and a number of them have multiple qualifications in the health industry. One of the things that sets us apart is that we tailor the treatment to what the client needs on the day that they come in. So people might phone today and go, my shoulder's really sore, and they're not coming in until the end of the week for whatever reason. And what I say to them is that, well, that's great that your shoulder's sore today, well, not really, but when you come in by the end of the week, we will talk to you about what's going on that day and tailor the treatment to what you need on the day that you come in. So we're always talking to our clients, we're always finding out how they're feeling, what's working for them, what's not working for them, and we're trying to always make them walk out the door feeling better than when they walked in.
So you've got the Facebook page. You don't have time to run the theme right now. I'm guessing you're fairly busy, or you're just bored with it.
I was just bored with it, and I just haven't got back to it because I've got other things.
Yeah.
I've said yes.
But you haven't passed it over to any of your team either.
No.
Would you consider doing that, or?
There's probably only one person on the team that I think about doing that with. No one else would probably be interested.
Okay.
But then it'd be about paying them to do it. And yeah. I mean, I quite like it. It's not hard. It's just having the time to think about, putting in the groundwork. Yeah.
Okay, well, what we might go through today is I'll show you how the cards work and how you use them for sort of planning. Then we can talk more about what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the business deck because it's the right one for what you're doing. And the way the basic deck works is there's a group of scenario cards and then there's a group of tools cards. And they're a little bit mixed up because someone was playing with them a little bit earlier this morning. And the way they essentially work is, the first time you're using them, or when you're, trying to come up with ideas, you can use one of the scenarios to get things started, to get you thinking about things, and then you can go on to your own sort of projects. So we might do one of those first. It'll take about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you want to pick a scenario that you think relates.
We probably, don't know whether it's launch a new product or promote an existing service, because basically we've just got a special on some new therapists that have joined the team. So it's a little bit of both.
Okay, cool.
Can I take these out?
Yep, we'll put those aside. So let's take one of those. So they're new therapists, as you said, so you may as well treat them as
new product.
New product, service, offering sort of thing. Okay, so in these cards there's 40 different social media tools, and so it's about actually looking at how they actually match what you're doing, and then sort of building a sort of a sequence or a process out of them as to how to go about promoting it. So let me see what's out at the moment.
Do you want me to put them all out? Does that make it easier?
Well, it's a good way to start. Like, one of the ways to start is to put everything out and then take away everything that doesn't fit.
Yeah.
And start that way.
I think we need more. We need a bigger table.
There's a lot of them. We can start taking things away and then we'll go from there.
Live video streaming?
Well, you don't do anything really with video as such, so pull that
Budgets and widgets? I don't know, I know what a widget is, but...
Yep.
Crowdfunding? No. Virtual worlds?
No, not really. No.
Comments in third-party forums?
That's always a way if you've got some key groups that you associate with. Yep, to let people know.
In-house forums?
That's your own forums. That's when you run them yourself. So you don't really do that.
Simulators?
No.
In-house blogs?
You don't really have a blog on your website, so...
Document collaboration?
No.
Document and slide sharing? Comments in third-party blogs? Is that similar?
Put them together for now. Yeah, leave them for now and we'll see.
Image sharing? Really? Marketing automation? Don't really do that either. Blog platform? Social sharing?
Yeah, that's using social tools to basically share information. So probably not a big thing for what you're doing.
Project management, no. Hosted forums, no. Social commerce, no. Social media management, probably need to be better
Put
at
that a little bit aside, yeah.
Comments and third-party social networks, is that the... They
That's,
can all go together?
yeah, that's another one over there.
URL shortening, I need to do that for the Facebook page because I haven't done it. ID crowdsourcing.
Not so necessary.
Social networking.
Yes.
Competitions.
That's something for you to think about.
But normally from what I understood with Facebook, it needs to link back to your website.
Yeah, there are tools for running competitions
Yeah.
within Facebook, like Strata and so on, and they're reasonably good. It's whether you want to go down the competition approach rather than the special offer approach.
No.
No.
Micro-blogging services, online
Yeah.
surveys, not for this, but I wouldn't mind doing some. Web analytics, we've done them before, we haven't done them in a while. Connectors.
You probably don't
know
need
what they
those.
are. Video sharing, no. Social media monitoring, we need some of that. Your idea.
Yeah, just put that with that group for now. That's in case
Professional
things
social
come up.
networking.
That's sort of LinkedIn and so
Yeah.
on. I'd actually keep that in for now because we'll discuss that.
Enterprise social networking.
That's for your own social networks internally, so no.
Locational search and sharing.
That could be relevant
Well,
for what you're doing.
we do have a
for
Yelp page.
Yes.
Online and mobile games, no. Social networks for Tina and children, no. Retail, real-time social simulation.
No.
Open data platforms, podcasting and instant messaging.
Okay, so get rid of all of those and we've got how many left? About a dozen cards left. Okay, so we already know that you've got social networking, so that's sort of the core of what you do.
Yep.
And you mentioned you've also got Yelp. How much do you find Yelp actually is being used? Not a great deal?
Not a great deal. I don't
No.
think, I think it's quite big in the US and I don't think it's particularly big here.
No, I don't think it's built a lot of traction here.
No.
It's something useful to have a presence, so I'll leave it there for now.
So some weeks we'll like most weeks we probably don't have anybody because I get a report every week.
Yeah.
So most weeks we get a 0, but every now and then we get 1 or 2.
Okay.
So
But
people
people are visiting it, but are they?
Some have converted and some haven't.
Well, that's the conversions are good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
The professional social networking and LinkedIn and so on, that's something to think about, but I don't think it's specifically around this launch.
No.
So I'll put that aside. Again, web analytics isn't going to help you a great deal in this launch, though it's something obviously to do. Social media monitoring would be interesting because I don't think you're really looking out there to see whether people are discussing these sort of things.
No.
Because you have an offer to present to people if you can locate them. So
yes.
That's something still to talk about. The URL shortening, as you said, it's something you need to do with the Facebook.
Comments.
Yeah, now you picked up all of those different types of comments. Now, are you actually doing much in terms of commenting in third-party blogs and forums? And
not really.
No.
It's a time. To me, it's a time-based thing. I have had someone interview me previously, but I don't know whether it actually ever got
sort
published.
of like my Canberra or something like that, or
we get
Canberra.
Yeah, we've been. The business got ranked as one of the top massage places on Her Camera a little over 12 months ago, and we still get traction out of that. But that was a totally independent. Nobody came to me. I didn't even actually know about it. Someone on Facebook, I put up a post about all these great things that were happening, and they're like, "Oh, and you've made it into Her Canberra," and I'm like, "Oh, have I? I better go check."
Oh, that's great.
So, which was really cool.
Well, it is kind of like social proof. It's something you can put up. You know, you should promote through your Facebook and your website as well. So, rated one of the best, massage places in Canberra by
Her Canberra.
Yeah, because that helps. Anything independent helps people believe it. Okay, so you're not really doing these 3 things at the moment.
No.
So they're really a bit of a nice to have at the moment. So let's put them aside.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be doing them for what you're talking about, which is with these 3 new consultants.
No.
So this suggests 11 points for this.
Mm-hmm.
So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 at the moment, which is sort of spot on. But really what we have to look at is how you're actually using them. So what's the actual product that you're putting out there, or the service you're putting out there?
So it's an hour of relaxation or therapeutic massage for a cheaper price, so for $79 instead of $109.
Right. Yeah, and that's with your 3 new
therapists.
Therapists?
Yes.
Yeah, and who are you targeting the offer at? Which
Well, I haven't. The other week I just put it up on the Therapy Masters page, and then I just shared it a few times on my own page, and a few friends shared it as well. But I haven't actually done a full campaign around it where I would target probably new people to the business. Is probably what I look at, and because I haven't looked at that back end in the advertising in Facebook for a while. I'd have a play with it. I just
so you're looking at this as a little bit of an acquisition sort of campaign to get new people in rather than to keep existing customers.
Because there are existing customers, like we have signs up through reception in all of the treatment rooms, so existing clients know about it because they're going to come in and see. You know.
Do you have a sense of how many people on your Facebook page are who are following it are actually existing clients versus non-clients, or just
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd guess at least a third are probably existing clients, and then there's other people that aren't. That I don't know their name. Or,
you always get a bit of a random group who comes in. Okay. So I guess reaching your Facebook page is okay because if you think around 2/3 are not clients and they're potentially reached by it. But also, it's what sort of engagement, and I didn't notice a great deal of engagement with the posts you're putting up there. So, even though you're putting inspirational, sort of posts up and things like that, people aren't kind of saying like or share, which is
it varies, and it seems to be the more time I put into creating something or writing something, the less it's shared, the more off the cut and random the thing is, the better it seems to be shared.
Well, that's a bit counterintuitive, isn't it?
It is. And they seem to really like the stories about the team and photos of the team. That still seems to get the best traction, or cute, fluffy animal pictures.
So, is it Jono?
Jono,
Yeah, because he's off to the
he's been and gone, he's back.
Yeah, okay, how did he go?
He came 6th.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
because I saw you post that he was going, but I didn't see a post about how he did.
I did.
Okay, good.
But again, even that got very little interaction.
Okay.
So I don't know whether it was the timing, it was a weekend and the weather's nice now, so people are busy.
Yeah.
Like, I seem to get better uptake if I'm posting later in the afternoon, so I quite often will go home and post at sort of 5 or 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So I do know that.
Yep.
But
people use it in their wind down time rather than during the day.
Yes. So it just varies.
Okay. Okay, so I guess in this case, you've got a couple of utility style things like this. It does very much sound as if advertising is going to be a key channel for you because you need to reach a community out there. Do you know sort of the demographics of who normally comes and uses your services?
We've got a slightly more female to male skew, so we're probably, I'm guessing now, probably 65 to 70% is female. The boys have caught on because when we first opened it was probably 90-10.
Yeah.
And they probably age range, I would guess, probably between 25 and 55.
Yep.
And a lot of corporate, executive, professional people.
Yeah.
So they're the main things.
Yeah. So I think I saw you had a sort of an executive or corporate package as well. On the
that's
website.
for corporate massage. So that's us to go and massage at your premises,
at the
business or at a conference or something like that. So we've done a few more of those in the last 18 months as well.
Okay, no, that's good. Because I guess if you're looking at that kind of audience, Facebook's obviously very good at segmentation and it's got a female
skew
bias.
Yeah,
yes.
it does.
So look, it does very much sound so you're on the right platform with Facebook. It's really about getting that cut through, building that sort of rapport with people rather than just simply posting things. As you said, your theme did quite well, but then you got bored. Why did you get bored?
It's the same old. I like change. I like variety. Okay. It's me. It's a personality trait.
Okay, so maybe it's about changing it up and rather than having one theme, having a couple of different themes and running a theme for maybe seasonal, like 3 months for each season of the year, have a different theme, or even have a focus on a different set of 2 or 3 therapists.
So what I normally do is each day of the week has a theme. So I call Monday Me Time Monday, so it's about doing something for yourself, taking care of yourself. I call Tuesday Topical, so that can be anything that's current or trending or informative. or something that's going on here in the business. Wednesday's about well-being, so about just looking at different little things that you can do just to take better care of yourself. Thursday's Therapeutic Thursday, so that's generally the day I sell. So I'll introduce or talk about one of the team or a different type of massage that we do or an offer or something that we've got going on. Friday's always Thankful Friday, so I'm very mindful about gratitude and giving back and being appreciative. And then the weekend just varies, and it's usually an image or comment, or it might be something that I'm personally doing. You know, it's a beautiful day, or, you know, that kind of stuff.
Have you tried mixing up the days and seeing whether, you know, for example, you know, introducing those therapies on Thursday, whether it works better if you introduce them on Tuesday, for example?
Probably not, no. Okay. I mean, I have swapped it, every so often I swap up what we're doing on the different days.
Yeah.
The only thing that's never changed is the Thankful Friday. Yeah. So the rest of the week I do flick around and change. Just depends.
Okay. Yeah, because I guess part of it is actually testing to see where you get the biggest cut through. And you've got the opportunity to do that, because if you're posting every day anyway, then you can sort of do 4 weeks or 8 weeks on each and see what actually drives greater engagement or something like that. Because I think, you know, like, it's a good idea to have those themes, but, you know, people may respond better to certain things on certain days of the week.
Very much so.
Yeah, like Thursday, people on wind down, they're thinking about the weekend. Like, it might be a good time to introduce them to, well, think about a treatment on the weekend or next week. But it could be that they're thinking about that at the start of the week. So it's about, you know, I suppose, doing some testing to actually pigeonhole where where they're most receptive to your message. Really.
And I'm not great at assessing things.
Okay.
I'm good at creating stuff and implementing, but the follow-up and the assessing, I kind of
Okay, so you might need some help with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. And will that also go for the social monitoring side?
Yeah, well, it's that monitoring side. It kind of, numbers bore me.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. No, a lot of people don't get numbers or don't necessarily like numbers. I've
even said to my naturopath, you know, because she knows she wants me to keep track of, you know, all the things that I'm meant to be doing for her, and I'm like, there's a reason I'm not a scientist, because I'm a crappy scientist and crappy at results. So
yes, even though you have a science degree. Yes.
There's a reason I'm not a scientist. It's all good.
Yeah, it's quite interesting because you know, like, I think you've got, you know your market, and you know who you're targeting, and you know how to target them, and I think it's more about just finessing, you know, when are they most receptive, and what content do they respond best to, what are they most interested in. So, you know, I do think you should seriously look at the professional networking side, because I think there's some real opportunities for you to establish yourself there.
Well, that's what I've been trying to do, but I've been trying to establish myself as a professional separate to the business, because I don't use all of my skills in the business currently. So I have been working on that the last, I've probably had LinkedIn profile now, that I've been working at consistently, probably 2 years. Okay. So.
Have you worked with anyone on it, or are you just doing it
yourself?
No,
I just was doing it myself, and I find Facebook quite intuitive, and I get that, but LinkedIn at times is like, I don't get that.
There's actually quite a good course that's being run down here, a little bit through Raging Digital. Which is basically on mastering LinkedIn. Okay, cool. So I can send you details for that, because it might be something you're interested in. Because LinkedIn is one of those interesting platforms, because it's not like the social networks. But you still need to pick your style. I've been using it for almost 10 years or thereabouts. And you know, it's still. It actually has become more difficult to use in some respects, because it's more difficult to connect to people through it these days, just with how it's configured.
Yeah, because quite often, like, you know, you've always got to say, well, how do you know this person?
Yes.
And, you know, you may know them, you may have met them at something, but then the choices that they have are really limited in how you've actually met them. So, anyway.
Yeah, but I guess, you know, you've got two things to position on LinkedIn. One is yourself, because obviously that's, you know, for you and beyond the business and moving forward other things as well. And the other one is your business itself. And because you've got a foot in the corporate market, LinkedIn could be quite strategic for you in terms of working deeper into that market down here, and looking at more of those the corporate style packages with conferences and organisations. So I think that's something to consider putting some attention into, not specifically for this product,
No.
because this campaign you've already got away and you're using your existing platforms. Yelp is a tricky one. I don't think it's going to do you terribly a lot of favours.
No.
How do you actually link your customers back to Facebook or back to any of your social networks?
No.
Okay, so there's no real link between your physical and your virtual presence, really, except the
no,
specials.
it says, like on the, I don't know, I'm pretty sure the new website, it's a good question, has a link to Facebook, I think.
I was looking at your site and it doesn't.
No, that would be my husband.
Yes, all it does is there's a news item in it.
Yes.
That if you find the news item, it says like us on Facebook.
Yes.
When you click on that title, it just goes back to the news item.
Yes.
So you can't actually get to your Facebook page from your website.
And I thought that might be the case.
Yeah.
And on our client intake form, it asks, do you follow us on Facebook? So they get a prompt when they come in to fill it in. But quite often people are like, oh, I must follow you on Facebook. And then they have their massage and then they're in La La Land and they forget.
Yes. Okay, because I was thinking about, you could put some kind of trigger in there, like if you come in, we'll give you $5 off if you like us on Facebook. And actually, pay for that, buy that like, so to speak. But once they've liked you, they're then connected into you in an ongoing way.
But part of the issue with that is that while I can see people liking, if they have their personal details set to private, I can't see who's liked it. Like when the likes come up, you can see that you've attracted, say, 3 new likes, and I can see that Craig's liked it and Kyle's liked it, but I can't, the third person will just not show their details.
How common is that?
Reasonably.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
and
interesting.
And they've got their details shut down. So sometimes, and then I'll realise, say, I've invited people to like the page and I can see I've got likes, and then I can see them liking, commenting stuff on the page, and I'm like, oh, it's been Mary, she's liked the page. She's the one set on private that I can't see.
Okay, cool.
But I don't. If I know them, that's all good. But if it's a stranger, someone that's coming new to the page into the business, then I won't know who they are.
Okay.
Like I can't see it.
Yeah. Well, I still think there is a way you can look at incentivising people to do it, and they can either do it on the spot with their phone, or they can, because if they're at the desk, they're saying they're signing up for treatment, it says, oh, I'll get an extra $5 off, or get an extra 5 minutes, or whatever it is, and they say, oh, okay, I'll just like you right now, and try and prompt them to do it right now, because once they're connected, I don't know if you run a mailing list as well. Do you do that at all?
Not well.
Yeah, but you have got some kind of list set up. Okay. Yeah, because I guess, if you get them onto one of them, then at least you have a connection with them.
And that's right. And most people now too, because again on our client intake form it says, would you like to be informed of, e-news and promotions? And I reckon 60% of people now would say no, they don't want to hear from us. No. So, people are very anti, don't spam me. No spam.
But they might be slightly more willing to actually like you on Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah, particularly if there's something in it for them, whatever it happens to be.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's something to think about, because if you can connect them in, then at least you can have you've got a chance of an ongoing conversation with them.
True.
Like the stories you're telling about your staff, I think are good, and I think expanding those would be a sensible move, because people are interested in people.
Oh, very much so, yeah, I know. It's to tell a story, yes.
It's exactly, tell the story. And I think that's where, you could get not only, potentially, actual word content, but photographs, video, things like that. Just do a 2-minute video. Techniques you can do at home to relieve back pain until you come into our massage and things like that can be really useful for people, because everybody has that need sooner or later. And just trying to, I guess with the content, there's 2 ways to go. One of it is to get really, really quirky. And you said some of that spontaneous stuff is actually working for you. And the other way is to get useful, and to basically have things that someone can apply themselves.
But even the useful stuff, which I've shared before, often doesn't get any traction.
But that's you're just sharing it once on Facebook and then it's gone?
Probably,
is that
yes.
Right? Yeah, because the other thing is, can you take that useful content and start embedding it into your website, so you've got...
Well, quite often I'll pull useful content out of the
website. Oh, well, that's even
better.
That's even better. But I'd also say that some of that stuff you can use periodically. So you can use it on a 3-month, 6-month rotation, or something like that. Or you can look at, you know, the cycles that you know customers go through. You know, they come in, they get a massage, they feel great, they go away.
Because I think I do a lot of Facebook on my phone.
Yep.
So I don't do a lot on the computer, and that's for various reasons. But I can't, because I basically go, the different pages I follow, when there's really good images that are going to relate to a topic I want to discuss, or quirky massage thing, image or whatever, I save it onto my phone.
Yep.
And then I share. So I do most of my Facebook posting off my phone. I do very little. And what I found over the years is the words that I put together, I might not get a great deal of traction about, but the images I do.
Images.
And I know Facebook is all about images, like it's a visual medium, and I get that. So that's one of the reasons why I continue to do it that way.
Yep.
But I don't really, I suppose I don't file or keep what I write.
Okay.
Because it's all off my phone.
Yep. Okay. But it is going to Facebook, and there's ways to then take it out of Facebook and keep it that way as well.
Okay, cool.
And that's maybe something to look at, because I think it's important to have the stuff, because if you see that something is firing, then you can probably use it periodically, at least annually, if not on a reduced time frame. And it's also, as I said, start to look at the cycles. They come here, they have, you know, treatment, they go away, there's a period of time, and then they want to come back again. And it's about what do they go through in that period that you can tap into to say, you know, what are the changes that take place, and how can you feed some content into that that actually speeds up the cycle and says, well, I'll have my therapy this week rather than next week.
Yes.
And generate that return business.
Yeah, we generally try and book people when they're here, but there are people who go, oh, you know, I'll let you know when I need you again. Okay.
Do you have a way for people to book online?
No, we don't do online booking. So that's something that we have controversy about, but that's okay.
Okay. Well, because people don't show up, or
no, it's not that. It's because my husband's in IT, so he's very there's a few issues there. So he doesn't like anything cloud-based.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
You were telling me about that.
So there's issues there. It's also, he works a lot of hours already, so he does the website for me. So getting him to do extra, like, out of hours work is difficult because of the hours he keeps. So there's a few things. And I also have issues around that I don't want, for privacy reasons, I don't want the names of the team up on the website, because some days we only might have one therapist in for various reasons, and I don't want people to know that, you know,
such and such
is here by themselves that day.
And people often ask for a particular therapist because of specialities and other things.
Yes, that's right, or continuation of treatment and things. So, and over the years we have had a few incidents of, you know, clients that make people on the team feel uncomfortable, and clients that we don't want to have back in here. Yeah. Okay. So I'm mindful of that, particularly with the work that we do. Yeah.
So maybe there's a middle route where you can have people basically say online, you know, I want to come in, these are my preferred times, this is my preferred therapist, and then call them and book the time. So you could do something like that that allows it to just be a simple form that lets somebody indicate what they want when they want it.
Well, we have, there isn't it? Yeah. They can email the business off the website. So there's a web form.
Is it just an email address, or is it a web form? And how?
It's a web form.
Okay, so does it have all that focused information, or is it just?
It doesn't.
Okay, so I think the more focused you get, the more focused you get, people will quite willing to tell you where and when, and give you all the information you need to then call and make the booking. Yes. But if you just have a sort of a comments field with an email address, they may miss information. It may be harder for you to do that.
That's a good idea.
So that's something to do as well.
That's an easy tweak. I can probably do that.
Is it a WordPress site or something else?
No, it's a Joomla.
Oh, Joomla. Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah. A little bit older platform, but still a good one. I used to use it.
No, we've got the latest version. We only updated the website last year. Yeah. So it's a good platform. We've used Joomla for the last 2 websites. So the previous one was done in 2009. So we've had 3 incarnations of the website over the last 11 and a bit years. So, and my husband does that bit of it. Yeah. I write the content, he does the back end.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah. So I would say probably I would sort of depreciate Yelp and not worry about it too much, unless if you are actually encouraging people to leave references, because otherwise it's not going to drive anything for you here.
No, and I mean, and I've updated the Yelp I've gone in and I've updated,
Yeah.
our words and stuff on Yelp and our description and stuff. And we did get a little bit of extra traction around that time, so I think it's probably something that you need
When
to go
there's
into.
change,
It gets picked up.
It's the same as LinkedIn as well, actually. It's quite good to, every couple of weeks go in and just make a small adjustment to your profile, because it then, people will then get an update that you've updated your profile.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't tell you what or how much, but it just stimulates LinkedIn to send that extra update.
I see when people have updated, or say they've updated their career or added or something.
Yes, but it doesn't necessarily, if you change your profile, it doesn't say, well, they rewrote the entire profile or they added a sentence. So it doesn't sort of tell you the scale of the change.
No.
But it can be quite handy there.
Yes.
It sounds like, with a lot of your content, you could potentially look at outsourcing some of it, because you're doing fairly, you've got some clear themes and some clear ideas of what sort of content you're looking at. So it's possible to get a bank of content prepared, images, words, etc., and have it ready, so you don't have to scramble around and find things. And I know you're saving some things on your phone to publish later, but even so, it's one thing you don't have to necessarily worry about.
Yeah.
And there's services for doing that online. There's other ways of doing it that can be quite cheap to get that done, and just saves you some time and some stress.
Mm-hmm.
And it means you're not out there looking for stuff when it doesn't interest you that much, if you've kind of moved on. And again, also with social media monitoring, I think there's definitely an opportunity to try and find the audience that's out there looking for your services. Potentially they're going to some of your competitors, potentially they're just unsure, because having gone to masseurs myself, one of the biggest things is can I trust them? Because I don't know them. And it's how do you build up that trust? And I'm wondering whether you can do anything with your existing clients to actually, if they're willing to give you testimonials or anything like that. No, won't do anything like that. Okay,
so one of the issues in the health industry is that our colleagues who are physiotherapists, chiropractors and osteopaths, it's actually illegal for them to do because they're providing a medical service.
Yes.
I see us in the same space as them, so I don't want to do a testimonial and to value what we're doing. Okay. So, and to me that sets me apart from our competitors who do testimonials.
Okay.
So it's one of the reasons I don't do it. To me, it's a reputation thing, and it's the level of service that we actually offer.
Okay. So maybe that in itself is your selling point that you need to promote a little bit as well.
Yeah.
And so this is why we don't do it, is because it's at that level.
That could be my post today.
It could be, but I'm just saying that the fact that you've taken, that particular stand on that topic, that in itself is a differentiator in the market.
Yeah.
And while there are massage therapists out there who have lots of positive testimonials on their site, and that's kind of what they use to draw in customers, what you're using to draw in is that you don't do that.
Yeah.
So you can turn that around and make it a positive.
True. Yeah. I hadn't thought of it like that.
Yeah, well, it's a strong position to take, and you're taking it for and being ethical and trustworthy is one of the key things people are looking for, and that's what you're demonstrating. You're doing it in a different way to other people, but that's also a benefit.
That's normal.
Well,
it's in a different way.
But yes, but it's not a negative way. It's a very positive way.
No.
Which is great.
Yeah, true.
Okay, but I think it would be useful to, for you to get into the heads a little bit of potential customers and understand what sort of content triggers them, because what you're offering right now is, I suppose, your offer's got two things. It's got a price benefit, so it's cheaper than normal, and the second thing is there's the newness. These are new people, so it's might be something different than I've had before, and those are both differentiators. Price differentiator is probably the weakest one, because anybody can drop their prices and offer a special at some point. And sometimes dropping your prices can actually drop the value of what is perceived to be as well. So it's not always good.
Yeah, we rarely drop price. Yeah. So it's not something that I do particularly.
No, you don't need
often.
to.
No. So and part of the reason that I've dropped the price for the new therapists is because they don't all have their health fund recognition for various reasons.
Yes, I saw one on your site that didn't have it.
Yes, so we have, so that $30 discount is really normally about what people would save from a health fund rebate. So that's one of the reasons why. So it actually says that as part of the thing.
Yes.
That this isn't
Yes.
rebatable.
Yes.
So that's one of the reasons why there is a discount.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
But even so, I think the strongest point of difference is really the skills of your practitioners, your therapists here, and how do you actually bring out those skills and those stories, and demonstrate their competence, through the Facebook page. Like, do they all have their own pages? Do you know they don't?
They're not interested. Well,
okay.
Jason has his business page because he has his own business as well, and Jonathan has his athlete page because he's a semi-professional sports person. But the rest of the team don't, and they wouldn't be interested.
Okay.
So some of them, there's one.
Yeah.
That's not.
It's nearly 12.
Yeah. Thank you.
There's one who isn't on social media at all and isn't
Okay.
interested, and the other ones are probably more private and they're not. So I've actually got to ask them, are you okay with me putting your photo up, like a professional image up on the
Okay, they're quite
business
private
page?
people.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So are they generally okay with you doing that? Do they understand
They do
benefit?
understand,
Okay.
and I ask, and they usually always say yes, but
Yep.
they're not. I wouldn't say they're comfortable with it.
No. Okay.
So that's
Okay.
part of the issue. Like
It's
if
part of
they,
the challenge. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Is
Yes.
because if they're what the business is based on, because
Yes.
they give you the good reputation and the strong practice. They're very difficult when you can't actually say, well,
Leverage
look
that
at how good
information.
our people are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes.
But you can promote yourself.
Yes, but I don't do treatments anymore.
You don't do treatments anymore, but you run a successful treatment practice.
Yes.
And you've run it for quite a long time, and you've got substantial experience.
Yes.
So I guess it's more about, if people trust you, then they're going to trust the people that you have hired.
Yes.
So that's where definitely develop your own profile on there as well as the businesses, because your profile is what in some ways will help shape the business.
Yes.
The teaching is good. I think you should also look at doing some speaking as well.
That's what I want to get into.
Yeah.
So I want to get into more presenting and speaking. So that's one of the reasons why I did Suzette's workshop last week, because I've got content that I actually want to get out there.
Definitely. Well, one of the things I look at in terms of the social media side is, when I'm talking earlier about doing those 2-minute, what you can do at home between treatments, that sort of thing, is you should probably do those. Because even though you're not practicing, and generally your practitioners are not going to be so willing to do it,
No.
but you can do that, and that both builds your profile and also builds your practice at the same time.
So would you look at doing them as a video, or would you look at doing them as just text?
I would, wherever possible, do them as videos, short videos, because I think video is going to be far more powerful, far more shareable. You can put it up on your website, you can have it on YouTube, which is the second largest search engine.
It is.
So that's important. And then you can also share it on social channels as well. And because you're the owner of the business, you've got this great track record, and you've got the experience, even though you may not be the actual hands-on person anymore, then that will carry the weight that will actually, I believe that will drive quite a bit of cut through on social media, because you don't see a lot of necessarily therapists helping people when they're not in actually at the venue.
Yes.
And I think there's lots of things that basically, what's it like for someone going for their first ever massage? What's the experience? What should they expect? So doing something for people like that, who might be younger people, or just people who've never thought about it, or older people never thought about it.
We have a lot of people now in their 60s who come in and they've never had a massage before.
Exactly.
And people often buy them. It's a gift voucher. They come in on a gift voucher.
Right. So if you can communicate to them what the experience is like, de-risk it, as they say, take out the threat and the put a face to it, then that's a way to draw in those absolutely new people, and that's obviously a market out there that's a reasonable size. And the other part is, what do people do between therapies to either make the effects last a bit longer, or to prepare themselves to come back in for something different? Because I think, and the other thing is, you can demonstrate different things that they can come in and do. You say, well, you've been doing this for a while, why not try this? And you can do that on a wider scale with video.
We can, but part of part of what we offer our clients is that we always tailor their treatments to what they need on the day.
Great.
And as a therapist, we all have 4 or 5 different modalities that we learn as part of
Yeah.
our training. So we will mix it up for the client on the day. So
Right.
that bit might get relaxed, and this bit will get remedial, and that bit will get linked for something. So we're always tailoring to what they need on the day. So the only massages, I suppose, that are more treat or special would be a hot stone, or like seeing a different therapist that has a different skill set.
Yeah, but that's something also you can talk about. The fact that you customise it on the day to the person is important, but also knowing that there are other treatments that you have at your disposal. So they may not come back for what they normally get here, but they know you can do other things, so they might come back for something else. So, you know, you're basically identifying a need or helping them meet a need that otherwise they may not have necessarily associated with you guys.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand.
But I think, you know, I think Facebook is going to be the key to that, backed up by LinkedIn. Like, yes, you know, some social media monitoring would help, but I think principally these two are going to be the core of what you do and keep being the core. So, yeah, so if you keep doing what you're doing on LinkedIn, but on Facebook, but maybe get some of that content pre-done for you, and that's something I might be able to help with as well. Happy to help with those sort of things. And with LinkedIn, it is worth having a strong, I think, therapy master's presence, because that will help your business. It's separate to you, so you're positioning yourself, you're also positioning the business.
Yes. Yeah, because I've been umming and ahhing about it for a while, and I've heard mixed. Some people say yes, do it. Some people say no, don't do it. So I still haven't done anything.
There's not a lot of cost to doing it.
No.
You know, and once you've done it, it doesn't necessarily need to update so quickly. But if you're posting content, videos, posts, and other things, you can feed them into the feed for it. But what you can start using that is you can start connecting people up to you, you know, for your more corporate clients, and starting to build a bit more of a presence in that market, and trying to, you know, use that as a little bit of a point of difference as well over time. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.